Hey, what's up, people? Piz out here, and today I want to talk to you guys about Star Wars: The Force Awakens. And I know I'm showing up a little late to the party on this one, but I really wanted to watch the movie twice before I sat down and did any kind of video about it. And I really put a lot of thought into what kind of video I wanted to do on The Force Awakens. Do I want to do a spoiler-free review? Do I want to do a spoiler-full review? Do I just want to sit here and just talk off the top of my head about the film and just let the chips fall where they may? And, just talk about The Force Awakens. Because I know a lot of people out there still haven't seen the movie, and I know a whole lot of people out there have seen the movie and have probably seen it multiple times because it's already made over $1 billion at this point and is on its way to being, one of, if not the highest grossing movies of all time. So I know a lot of people still haven't seen the movie. I know a lot of people have seen it and have seen it multiple times. So what I've decided to do is just kind of throw the playbook out the window and just talk about the movie and really encourage an open dialogue with you guys down in the comment section about, talking about what things you liked about the movie, what things you disliked about the movie, who your favorite characters were, who your least favorite characters were, where you think the storylines are going to go, how you think the character arcs are going to develop over the next couple of entries in the Star Wars saga, and do some speculation in the comment section below. I really liked Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I really liked the movie. I think it held up well over two viewings. I think it's J.J. Abrams' best film. I really liked the two Star Trek movies he did. I liked Super 8, but I think this is hands down J.J. Abrams' best film. The movie looks great. It's got a gritty look to it. It actually looks like it was shot on location and not on a soundstage in front of a green screen. The special effects in the film, for the most part, are practical with some CGI to kind of accentuate the practical effects, which is what I think CGI effects are intended to do. The action sequences were great in the film. I loved how they introduced the new characters in the film. Finn, Poe, Rey, characters like that, and have given them an interesting character that we are going to invest in over the course of this film and the next two Star Wars films, while at the same time paying homage and having those older Star Wars characters that we all grew up with and love: Han Solo, Chewie, Leia, C-3PO, R2-D2. Have them in the film, but not have them overpower and overshadow the new characters. Not to make the film about Han Solo and Chewie and Leia and so on and so forth, but to have them in there really as complementary characters to those new characters. And like I said, I love how they balance that out, and it's really about the new characters in this film. Now, granted, when Han Solo and Chewie shows up in the film, the first time I saw it, huge smile on my face. Even the second time I saw it, and I was anticipating it, waiting for it, and it happened, it still had a huge smile on my face. Loved seeing Harrison Ford in the Han Solo get-up. Some great humor in the film as well. I always felt like the prequels were just kind of dry and humorless films, and they really are. This movie had some humor in it, and some humor that was actually quite funny thanks to Chewie and Han Solo. C-3PO was a great comic relief in the film as well. I really liked the character of Rey. They introduced her, and instantly I liked her. Instantly I was invested in her. I thought the actress who played Rey did a phenomenal job. Clearly her character is going to be a pretty pivotal one moving forward in the series. Really looking forward to seeing kind of what her lineage is and what her backstory is. I liked the character of Kylo Ren. He's a badass villain, but he's a badass villain who's conflicted. He's a badass villain who's got some flaws. And I liked that. He's a little emo, maybe a little too emo at times, but I'm really interested to see where his character is going to go and how his character arc is going to develop over the next two Star Wars films. A lot of drama there. I won't get into too many details, but a lot of drama there that I think is going to play out, which played out pretty well in The Force Awakens, and I think is going to play out in the future installments really well as well. So really looking forward to seeing what they do with his character. The character of Finn, I thought it was cool that the stormtroopers in this film were actually individual. They weren't just, bumbling, cross-eyed clones who would shoot at people from 2 feet away and miss them every single time. These were they seemed like soldiers, trained soldiers who were a threat, and I liked that. And I liked the fact that Finn was a stormtrooper who sort of realized that, this whole dark side thing, it just isn't for me. So he decides to go AWOL, and then he gets wrapped up in the whole story. I enjoyed his character the first time around watching the film. He was the actor who portrayed Finn was a little irksome for me because I kind of felt like he was really overacting a lot. The second time around, it was far more tolerable, but the first time, it was a bit irksome to me. We got the character of Poe, played by Oscar Isaacson in the film, who I think is a phenomenal actor. He's not in the movie that much, but I think in future installments he'll be a more pivotal character. And I think Oscar Isaacson's just a great actor. Really looking forward to seeing what they do with him as well. So I really liked all the characters in the film. I feel invested in those characters moving forward and seeing where their character arcs go and how they develop over the next, during the next installments in the new Star Wars saga. I would have loved to have seen more of Phasma, who is like this general of the Stormtroopers, played by Gwendolyn Christie, who is Brienne of Tarth on Game of Thrones. She's in the movie for like 10 minutes. She doesn't even take her mask off. We just hear her voice. That was a little disappointing to me. I would have wanted to actually see her, number one, and number two, see more of her. So hopefully she'll have a lot more to do in the next installments in the film. I really enjoyed Star Wars The Force Awakens. I really liked the film. And I think it did what all good sort of kick-off installments to a trilogy are intended to do. Establish characters that we care about, that we're going to invest in, and, leave enough out there open to make us interested in wanting to know more about them and speculating about them and their past and their lineage and so on and so forth, for the future installments. So that's definitely something that, I think Star Wars The Force Awakens did beautifully. Like I said, I loved the look of the film. I loved the fact that it was actually shot on location, not a lot of green screen. A lot of people, detractors in the film, have noted that it seems to be kind of a New Hope remake with some elements of Empire thrown in there. I can meet you kind of halfway there, but again, I think it was sort of more of an homage in that way, and of course of setting up the character of Ren or Rey, and sort of where she's going to go and how she's going to progress throughout the course of the remaining installments in the saga. I've heard people say that there's no real sort of, Luke, I'm your father kind of moment. There's no big sort of, like when you think of A New Hope, or you think of Empire, or you think of Return of Jedi, there's just those moments that stick out, those hero kind of moments. Even with the Phantom Menace, like the Darth Maul lightsaber battle, which is, in my opinion, the best part of the prequels, was that sequence in the Phantom Menace. That this film doesn't really have a moment or moments like that. And really, there's a couple of moments that really stick out to me in the film without going into too much detail, but I think it's just the film as a whole that really sticks out to me as just a great kickoff installment for a trilogy. Like I said, I think it did everything really, really well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with Episode 8, with Episode 9. I'm a little less interested in the sort of spin-off Star Wars movies that they're going to do. Rogue One, and there's going to be another one. So like every year until like 2019, there's going to be a Star Wars themed movie. And Disney's definitely employing the same sort of business model that they've been using with the Marvel films. And I had an interesting discussion with my girlfriend before the movie started. We sat through at least a half an hour of trailers. And 2 or 3 of them were Marvel movies. And at one point she leaned over to me and she goes, how many of those things are they going to do? And I hope that we don't get to that point with the Star Wars films where we're just going, oh God, how many more of those are they going to do? I really hope that they don't just let it splinter off and, we've just got, we've just got series on top of series on top of series. And to understand what's going on in this movie, with, character X and Y, you had to see this other film with characters, S and T. And I just hope that they don't go down that route, or that they don't, just really oversaturate the market with Star Wars, which, I mean, honestly, they kind of already have. When you've got Star Wars oranges and Star Wars bottled water, you've kind of, I have to admit, I was kind of getting tired of seeing Star Wars everywhere before I actually sit down and watched the film, because it was everywhere. Like I said, when you've got Star Wars oranges and Star Wars bottled water at your grocery store, you've taken it a step too far. So I really hope now that, Star Wars is owned by Disney, that they don't try and do exactly the same thing with Star Wars that they've done with the Marvel superheroes, to the point where we're going, how many more of those are they going to do? But yeah, overall, I really like Star Wars The Force Awakens, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where the story goes from there. And great movie. I'll probably end up seeing it a third time, because January 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, The Sausage Factory, the live streaming movie discussion show that I do with a group of other awesome YouTubers, we're just going to sit down and do an entire show dedicated to The Force Awakens. So if you're not a subscriber to The Sausage Factory, head over to the Sausage Factory YouTube channel and subscribe now, and keep your eyes peeled for that show on January 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That should be a lot of fun. If you haven't seen Star Wars The Force Awakens, by all means, go out, check it out. You're certainly in the minority at this point. You're certainly in the minority if you've not seen Star Wars The Force Awakens at this point. So yeah, I can wholeheartedly recommend it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where the story goes from here. If you've seen Star Wars The Force Awakens, please let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. Let me know who your favorite characters were, your least favorite characters. Speculate where you think characters are going to go in the future installments of the new Star Wars saga. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited for episodes 8 and 9, definitely. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Take care, and until next time, peace.